Alright, let's see how this is going to work one-handed. So I've got a little bit of CTI based code here. Um, and basically what it does is this upper 0 is a position of 10 LEDs. So I've got 10 LEDs down here. So which index is going to be lit up? And then the 1 is the direction, so positive 1, or when we get to the end, it'll go to negative 1. And we detect anytime it goes past 8 or below 1, which will make this say that it's not in range, so we can flip to the other direction. Also, have a little bit of timing here. Every time we get to one of those endpoints, we decrease the delay by 20 milliseconds, and that feeds into that wait over there. And the rest is just initializing the digital outputs and digital inputs. The way these buttons are set up is they're set up where the 2 pins that they're reading into the Pico are configured as pull-ups, so they're going to read high until you press the button, which is tied to the ground rail, and that is tied up into the Pico's ground up here. And then here on the right, anytime we're at the state where, this Boolean here, anytime we're at the state where we're not in range, which means we've hit one of the endpoints, we're going to see if we're at the endpoint that isn't 0 or the endpoint that is 0. Change that into an index for one of the 2 input pins. And then we're going to, 1, figure out a deadline. So this deadline is using the high resolution seconds timer method, and it's going to be based off of what the current delay time is. And we're going to do 2 things so that people can't cheat. Because one of the things that might be tempting to do is just check to see if the button's pressed. But that's really easy to defeat. You just hold the button down the entire time and bounce the light back. So we want to make sure that they have pressed the button while that light is lit. So the order of operations is it's going to set the current light lit, turn off all of the others, and immediately as it finishes that, once it's one of the last endpoints, either on the left or the right, we're going to first make sure that the button value is true, which means that it isn't pressed, again with this pull up and shorting to ground. It's going to be true while it's not pressed and false while it is pressed. So first we are going to make sure that it is pressed. Not pressed, which means it's true, so that'll stop this first loop. And then we can check in the second loop. It's got the little invert dot on that OR to make sure that it actually shows up as pressed. And then we've got the 2 little checks here for if the time has expired before seeing the condition we're looking for. All that does is just stop the loop, along with if there's any error or the user hits the stop button. And then the loser's light will stay lit. So let's see if I can manage to pull this off one-handed. I'm going to position the mouse. I'm going to position my fingers on the 2 buttons, and here we go. And this will slowly get faster, but I am playing this with one hand, looking through my phone, so I might not make it very fast. Or maybe I'll do alright. Yep, there we go. So, yeah, this will just be one of the introduction projects. I'm planning on having this set up ready for everybody to go. We'll see if I come up with any more other more interesting projects to start out with. But just a teeny tiny taste of what I have in mind for GDevCon North America this July, I think. Ciao.